What's up everyone? In yesterday's video showcased a squad that relied on its spammy charge moves. Today I'm doing the exact opposite and running a team that relies on heavy fast move damage to take out the opponent and almost no charge move pressure. And I'll be explaining why that's probably not the best idea. I'm running Mud Slap Claydol, Feint Attack Bronzong, and Charm Shadow Gallade. First squad. Pretty good lead with Claydol into Victini. Claydol really one of the best Victini answers, and it brought out a Gallade. A switch in I really wasn't prepared for. So I went to Bronzong thinking I resisted charms, but I really should have gone in with my Gardevoir, since you do super effective with the charms backwards, whereas they are doing only neutral. So that would have been a little bit of a better switch. I still take out the Gallade with my Bronzong though, and have a bunch of energy throughout this Victini. I'm running Psyshock Payback on my Bronzong, by the way. Not sure if that's the best moveset to go for quite yet. Psyshock is Bronzong's cheapest move, that's why I'm running it. It could function as a nice bait, but Heavy Slam is only 5 energy more expensive and might come in more useful, especially versus fairy types like Gardevoir and Deoxys and Rapidash, who, well, you're gonna see is a menace in this meta. I brought out a Gardevoir there, and since I was like one turn behind because of the switch, they end up charming me down, unfortunately. Alright, next game, we got a Gallade on the lead, and I see Psychic Fairy come in, and I instant switch Bronzong thinking it's Gardevoir, but it's Galarian or Rapidash. I'm gonna shield this, not expecting them to bait, and they do throw the Mega Horn immediately, which is great. I'm gonna go for the payback right here, just in case they no-shield. I don't wanna, you know, I don't want them no-shielding a Psyshock and then surviving and then still getting to the Mega Horn. That would be quite bad, so I'll just go for the payback. I know that if they Mega Horn here, I should be able to get to the Psyshock before they get to the next move. And then their shields down. So this team is not like entirely without charge move pressure. Bronzong is still relatively spammy, takes 2 shields here. It's just Claydol and Gardevoir generally don't really reach charge moves, and I found that to be pretty detrimental, especially versus Pokemon like Galarian and Rapidash, which just get to charge moves so quickly. And you know, even though I did get 2 shields of them, they've basically taken out 1.5 of my team. Gardevoir comes in now again. I switched to my own, but since I'm a turn behind, they farm me down before I can farm them down. They bring in the Claydol. I'm gonna Shadow Ball this. This should be enough to hopefully put them into a range where I can Mud Slap them down before they Mud Slap me down, but it seems like they still got more health than I do, but they make a huge mistake. When you know you're not gonna reach 2 charge moves, as my opponent isn't, you don't throw your charge move. As them throwing the charge move meant I got a free Mud Slap in right there, and that's gonna cause me to get to the Shadow Ball right here, which takes them out and doesn't win me the game, because they still have a Body Slam loaded. Never mind. Rapidash, dude. It's so insane. This is already a battle that I think just showcased how important the charge moves are in this meta, especially something like Rapidash that's so spammy, can just take shields from everything, and then especially since Gardevoir and Claydol are not the tankiest, can just take them out. Again, I think this is a mistake I'm making. They switch in a Fairy Psychic, and I think it's Gardevoir go to Bronzong, but I really should have gone with my own Fairy Psychic in Gardevoir, because it has a little bit of a better matchup here. But on the other hand, if I wait too long and I switch in my Gardevoir too late, I'm in trouble too. So yeah. Look at that, Rapidash just taking out my Bronzong right there. Also having a Body Slam to hit my my Charmer, and now I'm just in trouble. They have a Bronzong, but now they bring out the Gardevoir, and now it's just over, so I'll concede the match. Alright, another good lead. In comes Malamar. This is an amazing matchup for my Gardevoir right here. Malamar still able to do a good chunk of damage here with the foul play, and then Victini will be able to farm me down, which is definitely not ideal. They'll even be able to farm me down before I get to the charge move. Talk about Gardevoir's charge moves, by the way. I think I'm running Shadow Ball Psychic. You want Synchronize, but Synchronize is Legacy, and the only way you're gonna get it now is by Elite TM. So if you don't already have one with Synchronize, honestly, it's not necessary. It's only like 5 energy cheaper, I think, than Shadow Ball, which could come in clutch sometimes because it is 1 charm cheaper, but it's gonna be very rare. That's why I didn't TM mine. It's not really worth it. I do actually have another Shadow Gardevoir with Synchronize, but it would take a bunch of dust to power up. So I decided I don't need it. It's not gonna come in that useful in most matches, so I'm just keeping it with just Shadow Ball and Psychic right now. But if you like, Psychic is useless too. So really, you only need one move. Okay, you either go. Actually, if you have Synchronize, you might want to consider Shadow Ball too. Could be a nice nuke in the end game, but probably not gonna happen very much. So probably just go with one move on your Gardevoir. Either, preferably Synchronize probably, but Shadow Ball is a good second. And if you go for two moves, Synchronize, Shadow Ball is 100% the way to go. That's definitely the best move set. Alright, we got Claydol versus Claydol again, but I get Mud Slap down there. Okay, Galarian and Rapidash in the lead. I switched into my Zong since I do have two better matchups versus Galarian, Rapidash in Zong and Gardevoir. The best answer to my Bronzong seems to be Victini, which is indeed not a bad answer since they get the two V-Creates before I get the two moves, taking both my shields. And once they've taken both my shields, honestly, that Galarian Rapidash is a huge problem. So I cannot use another shield here. I cannot use another shield. I use another shield. That might be a mistake. My thinking was, since they led Galarian Rapidash, they must be strong against Gardevoir in the back, right? Because Galarian Rapidash is not great versus Gardevoir. So that was my thinking, but seems like I was wrong since it's a Malamar. If I just kept both shields for Gardevoir, it would have been fine. I might still be fine though. I go for the Side Shock here, hoping they shield it, not expecting it. Maybe thinking it's a heavy slam. But they know shield, which is not ideal. But I go into my Gardevoir, snipe him down in one charm. In comes their Rapidash. This should bring him low enough where to should be able to farm down with the rest of my Pokemon. This is the one match where you do see like high fast move pressure coming in clutch. Because, you know, it just goes through the shield. They say, honestly, they should have shielded something. They really should have just shielded something. And they might have had a better chance here. But because they didn't, I'm just going to be able to farm him down. GG's. Alright, Claydol mirror lead. This is a mirror lead. I never really know what to do. My Claydol is very high ranked. Like, I probably lose CMP against everyone. So I go for the Rock Tomb here. Lowering their attack. So my Mud Slaps do more. But I think it might be a mistake. I actually no-shield this, expecting the Rock Tomb, but they Shadow Ball, which is a bit of a mistake. They go for some more Mud Slaps. I'm gonna shield up this move. I really hope this is not a it's a freaking Rock Tomb. Okay, that's very unfortunate. In comes Victini. I'm gonna go for the payback. They have to shield this, even though my attack is dropped. This would almost knock him out probably, so they do shield it. Now their shield's down, but like, I'm probably not gonna reach any more charge moves. That's the problem. That's kind of the problem with this team. Their shields are now down, but I'm probably not gonna be able to reach any more charge moves, and I'm just gonna get out spammed here. I'm gonna let this go at this point. I just want to save shields for my Gardevoir. I know I wouldn't have been able to farm down the Victini with my Claydol before they farmed me down probably. So it was just risky to shield. I have to shield my Gardevoir anyway. And now I get some energy. My hope was that I would still reach a move, but it's a Rapidash in the back. And they're just much, much faster. Like in general, these high fast move pressure teams like this are just gonna get destroyed by spammy teams because there's just not enough shields and most of these Pokemon are kind of squish, which is a problem. Alright, bad lead with the Slowbro there. I go into my Bronzong, I go for the bait. No one expects the bait, right? Except this Deoxys, because they no shielded my bait. That's kind of devastating. Deoxys really has a pretty decent matchup against Bronzong. Feint Attack just isn't the best move. So they get to enough moves of themselves to take me out. I go for the payback this time, actually. Open the no shield, and I'm not going to reach two Shy Shocks anyway. And they do no... okay, they actually do shield. I thought they no shielded, but they shielded, which is fine with me at this point. I can farm down the Deoxys. Claydol is like a really good answer here, since every single move the Deoxys can throw at me is either resisted or double resisted. They actually end up switching into their Rapidash, which is like really good for me. At this point, I can just shoot my Gardevoir once, no, just shield up my Gardevoir twice probably, and charm everything down. They're not even gonna shield their Shadow Ball, which is wild. But yeah, this is kind of a weird team by my opponent as well. They were super weak against Charm, to be honest. I think every team must have at least like one charm resist, either with Victini, either with Bronzong. Those are really the only ones, I guess. That's kind of limiting in this meta, unfortunately, but I think you really do need that, or this is gonna happen where you save a shield, but the charmer's just gonna go through you. Malamar lead, they bring in a Alolan Raichu. This is actually not bad for Alolan Raichu. This might seem like a very odd switch by my opponent, but this is not bad for Raichu. They get it out of the way for my Claydol, which is a huge counter for them. And two, they survive the feint attacks and still get the 2 wild charges. And now a double wild charge. So they would, if I wanted to win that matchup, I would have needed to use 2 shields, which was not worth it to me. So I let it go. I bring in my Claydol. Just gonna tank this wild charge. Hoping it's not a grass knot, but people don't run grass knot in this meta. Farm it down. They probably bring in the Malamar again, which is fine. I'm expecting them to run an anti-charmer in the back, a Bronzong or a Victini. So I bring in Gardevoir and expecting to get countered, but it's actually Hypno. Another one of those teams that just isn't prepared. And these are the types of teams that you're really gonna destroy with this squad. If they don't have a Victini or a Bronzong, like Charm, Shadow, Gardevoir is kind of ridiculous because I farm down the Hypno now and the Malamar has no chance and they know it, so they concede the match right here. GG! Alright. Another Claydol mirror lead. Like I said, my IVs are insane on my Claydol. I probably lose every single CMP, or so I thought, because I actually win CMP against this one, which is wild. I have like a rank 17-ish, which is like, I feel like that's really freaking good for Claydol, especially since not a lot of people hunt this thing probably. Actually shield their move. I Rock Tombed. Did you see me Rock Tomb? Their attack is dropped. But look at this. Wait. They are doing more damage. I am lower health than them. There must be some kind of breakpoint or bulk point I'm missing. Because I Rock Tombed them, I lowered their attack, and somehow they were doing more damage. Which was just wild. Doing that Rock Tomb also... Actually, I think normally, if I do reach a bulk point, I would survive the Shadow Ball because their attack is dropped. I was gonna say maybe the play wasn't to go Rock Tomb because I died to the Shadow Ball anyway. But I feel like this isn't this is not gonna happen that often. I feel like there's just like a breakpoint or something. I actually didn't notice this during the battle. I'll look this up after. It seems like there might be you might need to have like a higher defense Claydol in order to take less damage from opposing Claydol's mud slaps, it seems. My opponent was shielding, and it gave me some hope, thinking they didn't have a Gardevoir answer in the back, but it doesn't matter, girls, so we get taken out. Okay, Gardevoir lead. I go into my Claydol. They bring in Victini. This is fine for me. Gonna go for the Psyshock bait once again, I guess. Not expecting them to no shield, because, I mean, what psychopath would go Psyshock bait here, right? Well, me. And we get the shield. That's good. Do I shield up here? I think so. Fully expecting them to get to another V-Create here, to be honest. But, like, now they've thrown 2 V-Creates. Maybe I am misplaying this. Interesting. I go to shields down. I don't know if this is smart. Oh, actually, this was super dumb. I should not have shielded, I guess. I should not have shielded. Now I switch into this. They have their own Gardevoir. Oh, wait, no, this is fine. Yeah, I wanted my own Gardevoir versus that. And I wasn't expecting them to have a super strong... Actually, this was a fine play. They brought in Victini versus my Bronzong, which means they don't have a... well, okay. Normally, if they bring Victini into Bronzong, that means they don't have a very solid Bronzong answer in the back, which means that my Bronzong, with that health I have, is still going to put in a lot of work in the back. Apparently, that's not the case because they have freaking Malamar, so I think the way they played this match really made no sense. They really should have just brought in Malamar versus my Bronzong. That would have been much better for them. But, you know what, this still works out. We're just going to mud slap it down at this point. Yeah, Hyper Beam for the BM probably, because they knew, even if they foul played there, they needed 4 foul plays to knock both my Claydol and my Bronzong out, and they just weren't gonna get there. Overall, this team is pretty okay. I did go negative with it, but I could have won a couple more games had I played a little better, so I definitely think the squad has potential, but I don't think it's gonna be as good as some of the more charge move oriented teams. I got really destroyed by some Galarian Rapidashes or Victinis with energy in these games, so definitely highly recommend you check out the video from yesterday too, where I ran Malamar, Galarian Rapidash, Victini. I definitely still think that's better than this squad, but if you do want to run a little bit something different, something with more fast move damage maybe, consider running this squad. but Galarian Rapidash instead of Bronzong. I feel like that will perform just a little better. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. See you guys in the next one. Good luck, you Battle Stringers.